Guys, Amit Mahajan's up next from Phoenix. How long do you need to get him queued up and ready? We're good. All right. Then with no further ado, let me introduce our next speaker. Come on up here, Mr. Amit Mahajan. Speaking of pioneers and innovators, let me tell you something. This guy's invented stuff that he can't dumb it down enough to explain it to me. It's way so far over my head. But fortunately, he can explain it to other people who are smarter than me, which is most of the audience here. So with that said, I want to introduce a bit. He's got some amazing things to talk to you about. And folks, we talked earlier about data, about automation, and that's a recurring theme here. It's such an important theme that we need to stick with, because if you're going to future-proof your business, if you're going to modernize your business, embracing this technology is what's going to get you there. More the same isn't going to solve it for you. So with that said, I'll hand it over to Mr. Mahajan.
Thank you. There it is. Yeah, I did.
You just hopped off a plane from Paris to come all the way out here and do this.
Thanks, Bob. I wasn't going to tell anyone that, but yeah. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Good? Food is all right? He's still here. You can give him the feedback.
I don't take complaints.
He doesn't take them very well. We can still give him, you know. So, anyways, so let's get started. I wanted to. So I think we had. I was looking at the live stream and I was watching it as I was on the plane and getting off it. A lot of people talked about some very interesting things. There's someone from Phonex who came in, really informative talk, very good. Sean's talk is always very interesting as well. So I'll summarize this thing, process it, store it, and sell it profitably, right? And we are all in this business together. We're all buying and selling this. This is an arbitrage game at the end of the day. And the lower we pay, the more we make, okay? So I think the lower we pay, the more optimized processing there is to it, and then the higher we sell it at is the game over here. But so what is the golden thread? So if I can make this thing work, let me figure it out. Okay, all right. So the current landscape is filled up with completely manual processing. You got spreadsheets, you got people doing the manual picking and the warehousing, which is what everybody else does in the world. And then there is auctions where B-Stock probably takes most of the chunk of the business, right? And there are a few of the others who are out there at this point in time. So, but I think with all of this, there are a few challenges, and let's examine some of those challenges. So challenge number one, decision making is based on spreadsheets, and it is very manual. The second one, the inventory management and control is also manual. So stocking the shelves, taking inventory, doing inventory control, you take a down day or a down week depending on the size of your warehouse, and then, you know, it is also prone with errors because there are humans involved. So A, the spreadsheets are problematic because, you know, it is people dependent. It is also algorithms dependent. So if you make mistakes in the algorithms, then you are paying for it in literally significant amount of money. So there are, and then when these people leave your business, they take all of that tribal knowledge with them. So the optimizations that they have in mind and the tricks of the trade that they have in mind also leave the business at the same time. So it is not future-proofing your business. So how do you solve some of these problems? I think there is another challenge that we'll talk a little bit about. The marketplace listings are not optimal, okay? The listings we are not putting in listings with good reserve prices in them. There is no reserve price philosophy that's out there. I think B-Stock is starting to bring those things in at this point in time, but reserve price is not available as an option at this point in time. And it is extremely important to have that to put a floor on your risk, right? Risk taking, as Bob was just talking about, is gut wrenching at times. So very manual, hard to keep up with multiple marketplaces. Sean talked a little bit about this morning, and he touched up upon things like eSIMs, right? So eSIMs are problematic because when you want to sell them, and the countries that don't have eSIMs, you really can't sell your products in those countries. There are some workarounds around that. I won't get into those, but the challenge here is that if you want to profit from the product that you're holding in your inventory, you need to find the right marketplace to sell it at. Okay, so and how do you manage multiple marketplaces with the same inventory? As you list it in different marketplaces and products sell, you need to delist it from other places. Otherwise, you'll be overcommitted, and then you'll start losing your reputation in the marketplace. And as we all know, this is a very small group of people that is doing this business, so reputation is everything. So what is the golden thread that connects all of these dots? And by the way, this presentation is going to be quite short, but and I'll open it up to discussion because that's what I want to do more, because I want to get people thinking about this. The golden thread in all of this, if we can see, is data. Is data, it's processing, and it is, putting it all together as a singular solution. So imagine the future. A system that tells you when to buy and what price to pay. Okay? The system that talks to robotics and tells the robots how to process the products. Okay? And when we say how to process the products, which products to prioritize before processing the other products. How to process the products in terms of, which algorithms to use to grade them, which tests to perform, which tests not to perform. How do you optimally make it so that you don't spend too much time doing things that are really not needed? When do you do RF testing? When do you not do RF testing? Which products usually require you to test, the silent button? Which products doesn't require you to test the silent button? All of these things, because time is equal to money in terms of processing when you're doing high volume processing. So the system that is enabled to see these trends and automatically aligns itself and optimizes these test cases and optimizes these test plans. And a system that will store the finished goods in a serialized manner in dense storage. So this is complete dense storage where rather than putting it inside boxes, it is openly kept and it is in dense storage, and then creates the flexibility for you to sell it in any type of marketplace. Okay? What do I mean by this? There are two things. There's B2B sales, there is B2C sales, and then there is something in between where there are mixed lots that you sell, right? So you obviously make more money in D2C, direct to consumer, but the volume is very scattered. It is one pick at a time, which is suboptimal. It's very hard to go in and imagine there are some people sitting over here. There's Kim Allison from Assurant. So you probably have, like 1 million phones in your inventory right now? If more, right? Yeah, a few million, that is, there you go. Yeah, you move it faster, exactly. Because you're doing bulk, right? But if you get into a D2C market space, then it becomes a giant nightmare, okay? To go in and find that specific product and go in and, of course, you have good inventory management systems, you have good slotting, you got pick to light, all of that stuff is there. But there's still a person who's running around doing that. Right? And so if we can go in, and then there's also, the finished goods storage, which requires you to take it down for weeks at a time sometimes to go in to do wall-to-wall inventory counts. Or you're doing rolling inventory counts going across the racks, and you're still down for a few days at a time. When you're doing that, you're wasting a lot of people time, you're wasting a lot of opportunity cost, because at this point in time that inventory is frozen, it can't be listed and it can't be sold. So there's a degradation in value that occurs at that point in time. And then, so if you have the flexibility to sell the product, keep it liquid in your storage, and then sell it whenever it is needed and to whichever channel it is needed. That gives there a tremendous amount of flexibility, and that also allows you to have the most amount of profitability that can be created. So what do we need for this to happen? So for this to happen, You need distributed data collection. Okay? You need smart data analysis using software. So distributed data collection is collecting the data from different markets, different auction houses, different D2C as well as B2B type of auction places, where we collect this data, we process this data, and we are able to forecast based on different things. So we are able to forecast the price, the selling price or the buying price based on the availability of the product and the desirability of that product in the marketplace, right? Data decision driven robotics using software. Okay, so rather than process as it comes, you go in and you process based on prioritization defined by the software. Okay, this gives you an ability to sell that iPhone 14 Pro Max, which will get you the most amount of value, than processing those iPhone 7s, which really are not worth anything at this point in time, right? So prioritization, and this is entirely based on data. What is the value in the liquidation side of the business, right? And then connected marketplaces with smart listing using data management software. Imagine having a broker in between that allows you to list in multiple locations and then delists when things sell in one auction house as opposed to another auction house. So you're not overcommitted, okay? Or allows you to create smart lots and sell them in different spots so that you can get the best average value across the marketplaces. And then automated settlement using management software. So again, settling the thing and not having the people in the order management process, but make it entirely specific, making it almost like an Amazon-like experience, So you buy it and then it goes into the robotics. So dense serialized storage, this is what we have seen, okay? I spoke about it the last time, no more operator handling. This is our small dense serialized storage. I won't talk too much about it. Bob's prohibited me from talking about my products, but you know what? I'm going to talk about them anyways. So I'm a diamond sponsor. Yes. Smart packaging, right? So no more operator packaging, no more packaging by hand. How about that? Okay, we talked about having liquid product that gets packaged right before it is sent out. If you do it as a smart packaging, if you do it as a robotic packaging, then you can package on demand into the bulk or into a gift box, which is D2C. So smart packaging, AI-based monitoring and reporting. So complete line monitoring, complete robotic monitoring using AI, right? So predictive maintenance to reduce your downtime. So this is 100% quality control that goes through a quality control process that will ensure confidence, price, and durability, right? So where do I see challenges in the future? I see few challenges. I see robotics interoperability as a challenge because no one person is going to own it all, okay? And I think the bigger challenge also is that there are going to be various interesting patents that have been filed by different companies, okay? So as an organization that wants to have this process and the software, you are going to be picking and choosing from different people. And as you pick and choose from different people, the interoperability is going to be of extreme importance. You're going to have these things work well with each other and not break. And therein there's a requirement of integration, okay? Open APIs, integration, these are the things that are needed. So mixed and collaborative solutions, right? AI maturity. So AI maturity is one of the big things that is missing out there. The grading platforms are maturing, but to gain profitability, you are going to require to have good AI that will do price predictions and that will enable you to figure out how much you want to invest into the product before putting that product out for sale. Okay, if I have got a grade B phone, should I spend $100 in making it into a grade A plus, or should I sell it as a B? If I have got a C, should I spend $180 going into an A plus, or should I spend in $20, make it into a B and sell it as a B? These are the decisions that are data-driven decisions, and these are the decisions that are crucial decisions, because at this point in time, what you're doing is that you're optimizing the processing. And this process optimization is either a robotic process optimization, or this process optimization is based on data to communicate with the people, or data that is communicated with the marketplaces. So if you generate this data, can you provide this data for your buyer? And can the buyer be better informed? And can we change these marketplaces into a more informed marketplaces who can get what they want rather than get what they get today? Okay, so there is the problem with getting what you get is the markets are like stock markets. Eventually, they adjust to what's coming in. So, fool me once, I'm stupid. Fool me twice, I'm stupid. Fool me 3 times, you're stupid, because I won't give you the same amount of money. That's what it is, right? So the third time, typically, the market adapts itself, and the mixed bag typically does not get you the right level of value. And so you start losing value, and over a period of time, even if you are putting out good product, you still keep on, people have the long-term memory, and they will keep giving you less and less for that product. I think the last one is expectations management. So this is a journey that we have all started. Now, when I say this, I said this the last time as well, that this is a journey that we have all started. The big problem with this is that we're looking at this incorrectly. We're looking at this only as a software, or we are looking at this only as a robotics journey. I think this is a business journey. This is a sector business journey. I feel that as the right to repair movement has started, there are other things that are starting to come in, wherein new parts are getting introduced into the mix, parts verification is getting introduced into the mix. So all of this thing lays into what will be the value of the product as it gets calculated. Now, is that data desirable? Is that data required? The question is, will this also create new revenue opportunities? Okay, is it like a win check to make sure that the car that you're buying is not a salvage title, right? So is there a title check, like an opportunity that is out there? I don't know. I mean, I've been questioning myself, should we build something in that space at this point in time? So who knows? You might see something. So how do we get started? And I think there are a couple of slides in this one that are missing. So I told you I just came back from Paris, so I may have sent out an older presentation. So, so start with low risk, okay? Don't jump in and go in and do robotics, do software, everything all at once. Work with a SaaS, PaaS, or a robot as a service type of a service provider. Someone who already has a warehouse that is working and offering it up as a service, okay? There are plenty out there. There is us, there is Rexy, there are other people that are out there who are doing this thing. And, they can give you a no-risk type of an opportunity to go in and trial the software and trial the hardware out there, right? Flush out your processes and your solutions without making big CapEx investments. I think for the solutions to be successful, okay, and for the whole technology stack as well as the philosophy of how to derive profit to work properly, there are a lot of algorithms that need to be tuned. So tune it with a partner, okay? Select the partner carefully, but tune it with a partner. And then over a period of time, once you are comfortable with that, then bring in the robotics in-house, then bring in the software in-house if you want to. But in my opinion, I would still say that work with a provider that will continually keep upgrading the software, and that has a long-term software plan that's out there. Ramp slowly and integrate over a period of time. I just spoke a little bit about that. So AI, robotics, and automation are the future. Okay, AI in price forecasting, AI in grading, AI in testing, AI in device lifecycle management is the future. Whether it is mobility, whether it is medical devices, whether it is photography equipment, lenses, all of these things are very high value things, and there's applicability of the same principles across all of these things. Okay, so these are the future. So you can get started now, or you can catch up later. So I think the choice is all going to be yours in this case. So I think that's all I have, if I'm not mistaken. I can open it up for asking questions. I know I was very short. I still have like 30 minutes left, which is kind of surprised. I usually end up talking a lot most of the times. So people who know me, there's Kim laughing over there. So any questions? So I think there are other couple of things that I had two other slides which did not make it to this presentation. Looks like I have them in some other one, and I sent the wrong one. But one of the things that I did want to talk about was when you have this entire end-to-end process flow, I think the couple of key things I've realized that are on how to derive the most profit out of this process. It is figuring out which channel to sell the product into and which markets to sell it into. I think by far that is one of the biggest ways of making money into this business. And to do that, if you package the product before you sell it, before you list it for sale, then I think you lost the plot. Okay? The key pivotal thing over here is just-in-time packaging. Keeping the product unpackaged until the last possible minute, until it is purchased. Because if you don't do that, what you're doing is you're putting it in a box, taping it shut, and now, try finding that box, that specific box with that specific product in that entire warehouse that you got in front of you. Okay, it's a giant nightmare. So I feel that the turning point in all of this is going to be our ability to store effectively, to pick dynamically, and to package just in time to be sent out. Now this gives you a tremendous ability, saying that if someone comes in and says, I want 220 iPhone 14 Pro Max. Why? Because all of my people have been using those, okay? And only 220 of those are bad, and I only want to replace those. I don't want to change the whole damn thing. Okay, I only want those. Now, this allows you to create custom lots. This allows you to create, now, somebody's asking you for a premium service. Well, we're in Vegas. What happens when you ask for a premium service? Cost money. Cost a premium. There you go. There's an opportunity to upsell. There's an opportunity to make more money on the same thing. So I think therein lies the opportunity, and I think this is how we need to think a little bit differently. So if we go back and think from an old days perspective, the product comes in, it's a giant fire hose in most of these large carriers, large processors like Assurion, Assurant, all of these guys. And the problem, the challenge that they have is that they can't keep up if they keep it liquid, if they keep it open. They have to put it in boxes, they have to categorize it, and they have to sort it. And the sortation is by make, model, memory, color, grade, and then how many other things will you sort by? Because it's n raised to n. It's a Cartesian product on the number of boxes that get created. Now, if you do that, then your lots are limited, right? So your lotting or your sortation is now based on 3 or 4 or 5 variables, because you can only manage that much variability, and you can have only that many number of boxes. So your lots now are based on that sorting criteria. But if you keep it liquid and you have dynamic picking at a real time level, then you can have any lot possible. You can have it by make, model, memory, color, time of the day, the network type, the year it was manufactured, whatever. You know, the chipset that is used. I don't know, if you're capturing that metadata, you can have that sortation method. That lot can be created. So I feel that the pivotal point is going to be this whole concept that we've been talking about for a few years now called liquid lots. Liquid lots is the inventory is in liquid form. This goes into the forecasting, demand forecasting philosophy where your forecast is liquid and then it is semi-solid and then there is a solid lot. So in my mind, a solid forecast or a solid lot is something that is in a box, taped shut. I am not going to open it again. It's done. You want to buy it, you buy that entire box or you don't buy nothing. That's it, right? So, but liquid is where it is in some form where I can pick it when I want it quickly and I can put it in a box, I can package it and I can create a custom lot for you. And that I feel is going to be the next generation, that I feel is going to be the next innovation frontier that we will look at as an industry. And that will change the way we do business, because that will also change the way you interact with your buyers. Because the buyers can come in. Now here's another thing. The buyers can come in and give you a laundry list and they can tell you that, oh, I want to have these many iPhone 14s, these many iPhone 10s, these many Samsung S20s or whatever, right? Or 21. I lost track. I'm not a Samsung user, so I don't know which version they are on. But you will have those, but you will have the capability, if you have dynamic picking, to put those together and offer it up to them. It's just like a shopping cart experience on Amazon. And we all have been trained in our head by Amazon. We've been trained to pick what we want and when we want it, pay for it, and then get it quickly. So imagine doing all of this and getting an output and getting the product shipped out in less than 24 hours. That is where we need to get to. And I think that is the next frontier, I believe, in systems and robotics in this case. So I'll leave you guys with that thought. If there are any more questions, you are in the back and no more questions from you? I'm disappointed, man.
You're responding to every question I ask.
Thank you. That's a compliment. I'll take that. Larry, no questions? Come on, man.
We have given you peace today.
No, I don't want peace. I want questions. All right. Thanks, guys. If there are no questions, I appreciate it.